on their fourth lap at the moment, so we'll see what can be done by the youngster. As we said, 22 years old from Coffs Harbour against the old stager Robbie Phillis. I don't know what age he really admits to, but he's been around for a long time, but he still knows how to punt a motorcycle pretty quickly in belying his age of his years. As look at Bo Beaton on that immaculate Irving Vincent.
Oh. Robbie's been slowed down by a back marker there, Brax. He had to run very wide in the corner. First thing he did when he got out of the corner was have a quick look over his shoulder because Bo Beaton, he knew, was getting closer. Look at the distance he's closed down in only the matter of one corner.
Yeah, that's all you need is a bit of a back marker to get in the way. But Robbie Phillis has had a good look. He knows that he's going to come under threat from Bo Beaton, and he's still styling pretty well, old Robbie Phillis. He'll wonder. I don't think he'll be pulling the front wheel in the air as he exits MG this time, short shifting up through the gears. But Bo Beaton, really aggressive style on that Irving Vincent. That Irving Vincent taken to Daytona a couple of years ago with Craig McMartin and the crew, and absolutely blitzed them over there in the annual Festival of Speed there down in Florida. And I think Bo Beaton might be asking if he can head over in March this year. I think he's fallen in love with this bike somehow, Phil.
Yeah, not hard to do, Braxy. Have a look at it up close, and I'm sure you'll join the many people that have such an affliction. And look how close Beaton is now. He's even getting nearly close enough now, Braxy. He might be able to make use of a little bit of slipstream. He's also got that minuscule fairing. There's no way he's going to fold his frame underneath that fairing. Robbie Phillis has only got the number plate to try and get behind as they blast down the front straight. 240-odd kilometres an hour top speed for these machines. And Phillis holding onto the bars as Bo Beaton starts to closing quickly from behind. Scotty Webster is a little bit further back in the pack, battling with Laurie Fyffe. Then it's Rex Wolfenden, Stu Loly, Jason Patterson, Albert Tehenepe, Keith Higgs and Andrew Lind on the Z1000 round out the top 10.
Excellent, and there's some good close racing that we're not seeing on screen at the moment as well.
But Simon Cook, Braxy, the leading period 4 machine, 11th in the field of combined machines. That's a fantastic effort. Yeah,
considering that the tyres they use, they're a lot older than what these forgotten era bikes are. Period 5 as they're otherwise known. Scotty Webster a bit comfortable there, and you see the front end of Laurie Fyffe's bike just diving as he's trying to grab the front brake. Maybe it looked like he was even pumping the brake lever to get some brakes in the front there as you saw the front end bouncing up and down. But you're right there, Phil. I'd say that won't be too long before we see Bo Beaton giving Robbie Phillis all sorts of hurry up. They should be coming up over Lukey Heights as we hopefully get the camera shot in a while. There we go, through some back markers again. Robbie Phillis got about a 0.3 of a second lead at the moment, but Bo Beaton, and it's not even a 0.3 of a second lead now. Bo Beaton should be able to pull into the slipstream coming onto the straight and overtake the veteran of Australian superbike racing.
Yes, he'll probably be wary for any tricks from Mr. Superbike this time as well, Braxy. And look at him hanging off the side of that Vincent. He's not going to get any further off the side of the motorcycle without falling onto the ground. Tucks into the slipstream now, the very wide slipstream of the GSX Suzuki. Pulls out to the inside, goes back to the slipstream. Hasn't got the legs to get past the GSX in a straight line. But punches out of corners very well.
Certainly does, and I was quite surprised, and I thought he was going to pull there, but maybe Robbie Phillis just didn't have the thing on full throttle, knowing how cagey old devil that he is.
I actually spoke to Craig McMartin last night. He said the bike is giving away a little bit of top speed, but it's right towards the second half of the straight where the only disadvantage of that motorcycle is around this track.
Well, if you call that a disadvantage with the speed that it's doing, as you said, Phil, over 240 kilometres an hour on something that's relatively old, and the Suzuki going back to 1980. What's Bo Beaton doing there? He loves this outside line coming into turn 4 at called Moto Corner this weekend. Bit of a squiggle and a wiggle there from Robbie Phillis as he tries to get the power down of the old GSX 1100. Well, there's probably about a 1200 now, and they've done the bit of work on it.
Maybe, and then some a little bit as well.
Exactly.
There's Scotty Webster, the next rider through. Then it's Laurie Fyffe, still maintaining 4th position. Just ahead of this huge battle with Jason Patterson was leading them last time they went over the start-finish line. Stu Loly, Rex Wolfenden, Albert Tehenepe, 5th to 8th place, Braxy, in a fantastic battle, separated by about 2 seconds or so, as Bo Beaton takes the lead down into turn 10. Robbie Phillis, what can he do now? Can he get him at the end of the straight using the top speed of that Suzuki?
Well, look at he's come over Lukey Heights and dived up the inside as Bo Beaton on the Vincent, and he's got about an 8 bike length lead already. He's got amazing corner speed coming through this last section of the track. So at the momentum that he may carry, we'll see if Robbie Phillis can use the legs of the Suzuki to close him down. But it looks like Beaton's got the time card and punched out at the moment and checked out. Now we'll see what they can do with these lap back markers starting to come up on them.
Yeah, certainly going to factor into the equation. But if Beaton's not careful, he'll get pinched for leaving work early. He's got such a lead over Robbie Phillis at the moment. That Bundy card might be his dead set giveaway. Look at that overtaking manoeuvre over the top of MG around the outside. Loves the overtaking manoeuvres round the outside and then dives down on the inside, importantly, into turn 10. Yeah,
exactly. That was the replay. Now they'll come up to get the last lap board as we go back to our live car. Well, sorry, there's still the second last lap now. As look at the threading their way through, inside, outside, all about every side as they come through. A bit of a clash there. That was a bit of a close one. I think Robbie Phillis gave him a bit of an elbow in the ribs there on the way through, saying, have a look, you old mate, and see where we're at.
He also looked like he picked the biggest bloke in the field to try and get around the outside in one of the slowest corners.
Well, that's never stopped Robbie Phillis before. Wherever there's a bit of bitumen with no one on it, he'll have a look at it. Scotty Webster there in a lonely third spot with Laurie Fyffe trying to give chase, but just not having the legs on the old Suzuki to get near that immaculate Moto Martin as they tip out of Southern Loop. Now we see Beaton down into MG corner for the second last time. Great stylish young kid. You'd think he would have been road racing bikes for many, many years, such as the way he can hunch over the front of the bike, using his body to help get the bike around the corner. He's got past those back markers okay, and we'll see what he can do now. Robbie Phillis, I think, has had to accept graciously that he mightn't be anywhere near trying to get close to Beaton unless one or two or three of these guys that are back markers can actually slow him down. But Beaton just steps it to the inside of the track. A very tight line. You get a couple of bumps going through there if you come in too tight as well. Pushed him out a little bit wide, but he's actually held on to it.
Yeah, it looks like there's a bike that may have expired too, Braxy, as it makes its way around through turn 3 at the moment, pulled to the outside of the track. So disappointment and smoke coming from the back of that machine as he gets right off the other side of the track there, so that won't do any damage off into the gravel trap now for that rider. But it's the final lap, and Beaton and Robbie Phillis have turned on a fantastic display all weekend. Beaton looks like he's
jumping on this for the first time.
Scotty Webster around the outside. They were 3 abreast going through turn 4. You thought Robbie Phillis was wild. That one was even better. Scotty Webster, he knows Laurie Fyffe. The loose cannon is closing in quickly from behind. Wants that 3rd place. He is the Australian champion, and he's not too happy being back there in 4th place. But Beaton looks like he's going to take victory. Goes around the outside of the Freddie Spencer replica bike number 19. And also bike number 73, it looks like. Big move there on the last lap from Beaton, but he also knows that Robbie Phillis, Mr. Superbike, is closing in from behind.
Well, he'd like to think he is. And look at this, there's back markers everywhere. Where is he? He's come threading through there. Onto the inside, he's taken the win. That was an immaculate one there. 8 laps down. He's 3 out of 3. Do you think this kid's happy or what? He's standing on the pegs. He might be standing on the seat. He's that happy at the moment, putting a finger in the air saying, I'm number 1. Put your hands together. That's a great effort. And if you're interested in the Irving Vincent, you always log on to the www bit, the irvingvincent.com. So that's I'm sure if you got the money, they might be able to split one together for you. Scotty Webster comes through in 3rd, then Laurie Fyffe and Stu Laurie, and then Albert to Henneby. That was a good recovery for him to get up there in the 6th spot. Rex Wolfenden dropping back to 7th after being up in 5th position for the majority of that race. But some great racing. He's on the pegs. He's very happy, I'm sure. He puts a little mono. He's trying to lift the thing, but I think that's a big effort to try and get that 1200 or 1300 to actually get onto the back wheel and do a stand-up mono. But Phil, sensational racing all around. Every support class we've had so far this weekend has been brilliant.
Yeah, it certainly has, Braxy. No argument from me there. But Beaton, fantastic performance, but also the show put on by the rest of the riders in the Forgotten Era class, of course, brought to us by Glenn Cameron over this weekend. And, geez, it's been a fantastic spectacle. The amount of people over there in the pits is unbelievable. And congratulations to Robbie Phillis for a fantastic result. But as we go now to confirm the result.